Well, hey, my name is Ben, and I am currently serving as the lead pastor at Corinth Reformed Church in Byron Center, Michigan. And today for Whiteboard Wednesday, I want to talk to you about the danger of leaders presuming on culture. Culture is one of those things, it's much more felt than actually easily defined, but it's so important for leaders to be aware of. And so though your people may not talk about culture in the terms we're going to talk about them in today, they absolutely feel them. So one of the best ways that I've come to understand culture is something I first saw from Lifeway Leadership. They call it the culture pyramid. I'm doing an adapted version today where they say culture is the culmination of what we say and what we do as a church. And so if this is your iceberg, everything above the waterline is your language, your mission statements, the stuff you put on your church programs or your websites, everything that we say, even the things we preach about, it's easily visible, and people point to that as the culture of your church or your organization. Beneath the waterline, with more mass and a little bit harder to define, is everything that we do. It's the way that we use our resources. It's the way that we spend our time. It's the way that we sort of exist together in a community. And culture is the combination of both. Now, the problem is, a lot of times leaders, like you, like myself, we focus on gifts of communication. And so sometimes we can overemphasize the say part. Everything that we see above the waterline, and it's important to focus on this. We shouldn't neglect this. We shouldn't have mission statements that exist only on our website but never come up in conversation. However, the presumption is, this is where the danger comes in, is that these two things are aligned. And your people can feel it. If you say one thing but do another, though they may not be able to say, hey, this is a culture issue, they feel that misalignment. So a really easy example is maybe your church likes to say that you want to be a church that makes disciples, that makes disciples. That's a really important thing. We believe that that's biblical. But if you say that and all that you do in terms of measurement is count how many people come to your church, or you put all of your resources on the leverage them for the weekend service, or that's the only thing you ever talk about or celebrate or call people to invite their friends to, people are going to feel that misalignment inside of your culture. And what's going to happen is they're either going to think that when you talk about making disciples, when you say we're that kind of church, that you think discipleship starts and ends only with weekend worship, which we know isn't true. It's part of it, but it's not all of it. But worse than that, what might happen is they're going to start to think, as a part of your congregation, you don't actually believe what you say you're about. So as leaders, we need to be aware of culture, the combination of what we can see above the waterline, what we say, what we do beneath. And this is true not only of congregations, but of leadership teams, of small groups, even of your most important relationships. A marriage, in a lot of ways, works in this way. People take wedding vows, but the culture of their marriage exists in how aligned the wedding vows that they make are lived out in the way that they exhibit them together. And here's the beautiful thing. If these two things are aligned, and we do the hard work of making sure what we say governs what we do, and what we do reinforces what we say, just get ready for this thing to take off. And again, your people, your church that are all a part of that, they may not actually be able to use these categories to talk about it, but they'll say things like, it feels exciting, or we feel like God is getting ready to do something here. So culture is really important. And I want to encourage you, leaders, we should make sure that we attend to this, are always thinking about this, always pursuing that. I think it's worth it. It's rewarding for our churches. So have a great Wednesday.